Hey, good evening, Roman. How are you?
Doing good, Cruz. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Long days, of course, but not really a complaint.
Awesome. So you're hosting the show today. Roman is just sidekick co-host.
Okay.
So you're
But
main guy.
hey, be sure to ask any questions, and I really would like to invite everyone to add their comments, their questions, and I'll try to answer as best as I can.
Mm, cool.
And basically, I want to start off by asking, imploring, begging self-employed people, contractors, subcontractors, and small business owners that they really should apply for the new PPP, the Payment Protection Program, because there's lots of money out there and most of it will be a forgivable loan, which means basically free money.
hmm Yeah. You,
And
you
it's really not that difficult. It's just maybe about an hour or two of paperwork. Really, all you need to do is come up with last year's tax return, last year's bank statements, and this year's tax
when
statements.
when are we going to be able to start doing that?
It started this week, actually.
So we're able to file our taxes already? I thought they were waiting till the middle of February to file
Oh no, no,
taxes.
this is for the PPP program,
Which PPE program?
Payment Protection Program, which is a COVID relief program, which is a forgivable loan. It is a loan, but if you're able to prove that you used it for, and then there's a list of items that you can use it for, which is payroll, which is income, which is expenses, utility,
Mm,
rent, mortgage payment.
yeah.
Able to prove that you used the money for that, the loan will be forgivable.
Oh, okay. But
And
but it, but this PPE thing is the one from last year, or is it a new one, or what is it?
this is a new one. This is PPP2, and actually they opened it up for PPP1. You
What do
can
you
actually
mean?
double dip. PPP1 was last year.
Okay.
And they actually made improvements to PPP1. So those that haven't applied for PPP1 can do so for PPP1 and then turn around and file for PPP2 and basically get double funding. It's a double
But
dip.
but where are they getting the money for PPP one? I thought the PPP one was already exhausted. Am I wrong
No,
on that?
actually it wasn't. And a lot of the money that was set aside for your big companies, because there were millions and millions set aside for the big guys,
Mm,
the airlines and you know the big multi-billion-dollar corporations. And if you're
mm,
Trump swept that money from those programs that the Fed had, the Treasury had, and then set it aside for business use.
mm,
Money is there, and you can actually go and apply for one again and wait
mm,
until you're funded and then apply for two.
mm,
The cap is $100,000 for small businesses, and you must have less than 500 employees for
mm.
the PPP one, and less than 300 employees for PPP two. So, if some contractors, small business people, that's no problem at all.
Mm.
If
Well,
they, for example, if they earned $100,000, technically they can get up to $40,000 in a loan, a forgivable loan.
mhm. Yeah. Wait, guys, I'm not hosting it. This is Cruz's show, and so I want to make sure everybody realizes that I'm not hosting. I'm just asking questions because I don't know stuff, and hopefully y'all can ask questions of Cruz because this is his show. We'll be doing this stuff on the weekends. Sharky's going to be co-hosting with you. Sharky Villarreal is going to be co-hosting with you, but he wasn't able to do it today, so they drafted me. So I got drafted. Yay! And all
Hey,
I got
Paul,
was this. Yeah.
Paul is correct. There is really no such thing as canceling debts because somebody's going to end up having to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I have a question for you, Roman,
Okay.
because Paul kind of brought it up.
Mm.
What do you think about conservatives actually going to the government teat and drawing on some of these funds?
Well, it depends on what these funds are for, are going to be used. I mean, conservatives tend to own a lot of small businesses, and they're suffering and
Right, right.
struggling. And I mean, it's going to be out there for everybody. They paid enough taxes enough as it is. That why I don't see why they shouldn't be able to get these loans, and hopefully be able to pay back those loans if they're able to, or they're able to not have to cancel it. I mean, we're going to have federal debt regardless. It ain't going away anytime soon. I don't know how many conservatives are being fiscally conservative anymore. In the last 4 years, we've exploded national debt, but it's been like this trajectory since the Bush administration. It's not going away. Just print
That's
more
true.
money,
That's
and
true.
it's embarrassing, really, that's what we become as conservatives. But it's there. It's kind of like with Social Security. People are like, well, that's socialism. Like, well, yeah, it is socialism. It's a form of socialism. Like, then well, you shouldn't take it. Why wouldn't I? They're taking it away from me anyway. It's not like I have a choice. So you might as well use it, and that's how they get you, right? So.
Right. And to answer Paul's question, yes, it'll be paid by our children, our grandchildren. I mean, we are running a deficit. We are running amok as far as the only way that they can inject money into the system, because our GDP is going down. And some would say that it's not a good thing because all this free money is going towards paying down debt, which is good for the individual, but it's not going into production. It's not multiplying. There isn't a force multiplier for that money. The velocity is there, but there is no multiplier. So our GDP is still going down little by little.
You might want to lower your volume on your computer just a hair, because I'm hearing a little, not feedback, but it's just like not muffled. It's just a little bit. It just almost sounds like a little bit like that. Just
Hey, Claudia. How you
hey,
doing?
Claudia, how you doing? Yeah. So, guys, Cruz is going to be doing a show over the weekend. Weekend show. We will not be doing a late show tonight. Joe. We're not feeling all well. I'm actually have this weird cough that's just happening for no reason, and so I don't want to do a late show tonight. So no late show. We'll do a show tomorrow, but I'll be okay. So Cruz is going to be doing a weekend show, and that's what we're trying to do here at Real Politics is do random shows for you. Not random, but constructive. Last night, Charlie had his Charlie and Company show on Friday night, and that was with Secretary Coscos, and he had a guest named Jason. I think it was Jason or James. I'm really bad with names, guys. I'm sorry. And so, so we'll be, having those shows. Then we have Eminem on Wednesdays at 9:00. So this is going to be Cruz's show, and I'm just doing the plugging. Yay. Sidekick. That's me. All right. The last senator, I'll read the comments if you want me to.
Sure. Yeah, please.
The last senator to mention balancing the budget was Rand Paul. He got knocked off, hit mower by his neighbor and broke his ribs.
I'm not sure whether that's the correlation for the broken ribs, but
I don't know. The neighbor didn't like him, so there you go. But we're not just talking taxes completely. We'll talk a little bit about politics. So this is, go hand in hand. So feel free to mention politics and stuff for Cruz to be able to talk. So Cruz, when can we file our taxes? Just for everybody knows, Cruz is a tax expert. I mean, you're just an expert because you do it for a living or a side gig, and you do have a company in the Upper Valley that does tax services. You're not an accountant. You're not a CPA. But you do tax services for the people in the Upper Valley.
Yeah, I've been doing taxes, I guess, since around 1984. So basically started out as just doing it for myself. At that time, I had some rental properties. And when I went to a CPA back in 84, CPAs wanted like $800 to start, which I thought was pretty high in 1984 dollars anyways. And so I started to do it myself, and eventually people started to say, hey, you want to do my taxes? Hey, you want to do my taxes? Sure. And it just kind of started off that way. So I've been doing it for quite a few years now.
But you actually have a business, and so you have the ability to be able to comment on these kinds of things. And you do also stocks, but you do that on your own. That's not part of your business, right, Cruz?
Right. It's a personal thing.
So taxes, he's giving information about taxes, but when you and Sharky talk about stocks, you won't be talking it from as experts, just doing it as your own, and so that people don't say, well, they don't know what they're talking about or they don't know what they're doing. But they sort of do. And so hopefully next weekend, Sharky can join you and I can just watch because I'm not knowledgeable about stuff like this. I am sort of. When can we start filing our taxes?
Actually, you can start preparing it and have it ready. They
Mm-hmm.
will not start accepting it. I'm talking about the IRS accepting the tax returns until officially February the 12th. However,
So, so how does that going to work? Like, let's say I wanted to go to you or to Jackson Hewitt or H&R Block because you do that kind of stuff. When will you be able to go to them so they or you to be able to prepare it?
we actually started 2 weeks ago.
So you already can do prepared. It doesn't
We can
actually
already
get
do
sent.
prepared. I've got about 2 dozen returns ready and ready to go.
Right.
And usually, what happens with me, since I've been around for, I guess, those 30 plus years,
Mm-hmm.
I actually get to beta test the process. So
Mm-hmm.
I get to transmit a week or two earlier than February the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
As a guinea pig for the software and the IRS. So I'll be able to do that hopefully this year too. I mean, every year I don't know whether I get to or not. For the past 10 years, we've been able to do that. I've been able to do that.
So when you do these guinea pig things, do they get their money back right away, or do they go through you to like a credit card thing to be able to get it, or the people that you normally have are people that will get it in like 2 or 3 weeks later and not a big deal in their bank account?
That process is still going to be the same. They're going to wait until February the 12th to actually officially start processing.
Mm-hmm.
And since it was delayed for 2 weeks, that means that everything else got delayed for 2 weeks. And by delayed, I'm talking about those with child tax credit and earned income credit. In other words, people with kids have dependents. That means that they're going to be delayed another 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Normally, it's 10 to about 10, 15 days for somebody without dependents to get their refund.
Mm-hmm.
On the 12th, they should get, those that file by the 12th and are single should get their refund the last week in February. But those with kids expect another week or two delay. And that's a law that passed several years ago. I think it's called the PASS Act. I forget what it stands for. But basically, they do a more thorough examination of people with EIC and CTC. In other words, they're claiming the child tax credit, which gives them the thousands and thousands of dollars more.
Right.
So they go through extra scrutiny, which delays another week.
To say, do you really have that kid? Is that really yours? Because we all know that we know people like, hey, can I claim your kid? Can I claim your kid? Can I claim him?
Right.
Like, no. Like, no, you can't claim them.
I know, no, you can't. That's actually fraud. So let's get it out there, folks. You don't
do that.
Don't borrow kids.
Oh, you only want to borrow them for my tax services.
So that, I mean, I know some couples that have been caught.
Oh, really?
Caught, yeah.
Wow.
And there's just not enough IRS agents to go around to actually catch
them all. Catch them all.
So, but there's here in the Valley, I guess anywhere in the U.S., there's a lot of going on.
Well, I'm just gonna stay here at Rasa, like that's what we. Can I borrow your? I had an uncle that always wanted to borrow me, and it was like, dude, like, shut up, like, no, I don't want you, and you're not taking me with you, like, you don't take me something. Hey, mijo, but I'm cool. And like, shut up. I'm kidding. I don't have a deal like that. I'm joking.
Hey, Robert,
can I claim my dog?
Actually, yes, you can if he is at your place of business and you use him for security.
Oh, wow. And he can't because Jerry Jones could probably claim his dog.
Yeah, if he's a tool, and I hate to use tool for Rover, but yeah, if he's a tool for your business, you can write off the food, vets, and room and board.
There you go. So just ask any questions or random questions of Cruz. He might be able to answer it, and you can use his tax services. Where are you located anyway? I mean, you're a host, but just
I'm in San Juan. I'm not really doing live. I can do face what's that app called?
FaceTime.
FaceTime, yeah.
Well, you're not you hate Apple products and you're using FaceTime. Why?
Whatever the customer wants,
Oh wow, that's crazy. You hate Apple.
whatever they have.
So you
As
can
much
use
as
like a
I
Zoom
don't
call,
do Apple.
FaceTime, things like that, so you don't have to meet in person because you don't
Right.
want, because you I
Yeah.
mean, you had the Rona. Obviously, you don't want to have the Rona kind of
Right,
stuff.
right.
So it's like, yeah.
And they can email me documents. They can scan.
Mm-hmm.
Or just get it to me, and if I can see it, I can use it.
There you go. All right, so you can use Cruise. He can help you out and do all that good stuff. And you probably have like really really good software to make sure that that person's personal information is completely safe and all that good stuff, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, now
Yeah.
you gotta have all sorts of security to even log in.
Can somebody like text you pictures of their documents, or it has to be email only?
It would be better email, text it,
Mm-hmm.
but usually when you text, pictures get uh, what's the word
Fuzzy.
for squeezed or it's when I get it, it's lower resolution, so it's really not that good of an image. So email would be best. And actually, if you have Signal, that transmission is encrypted, so there's no way to capture, really, technically or supposedly, there's no way to capture a conversation if you use Signal or Telegram.
Mm.
A couple of others, but I think the two most popular is Signal and Telegram.
Okay, so you can use those kind of things to be able to contact you, or and so, but you're in San Juan, and you can help them.
Right.
Like a
Oh,
very.
heck. I almost forgot. There's the software came up with a new app. Good
Oh,
grief.
really?
Forgot. Yeah, there's a an app called TaxPass that is, I guess, connected to the software.
Mm-hmm.
Take a picture and it'll use encryption to transmit the information.
So you get that. So you get that information. We give that information to you through using the app, and then you can be able to you hold that information for us so that you can prepare the taxes for us. And you're probably cheaper than H&R Block and all those people, right?
Oh yeah, I'm here to help out the
Mm.
community. I'm not price gouging at all. I hear horror stories from other preparation services as to how much they charge
Yeah.
for products or advances. A couple of years ago, it got really, really out of hand, where other preparers were charging over $1,000 for advances and preparation.
Mm.
In some cases, they were using their own bank accounts to do a direct deposit of the client's money and then giving them cash and maybe 50% of
Their actual return was all.
yeah, it's really, really bad. Yeah. There was a lady in McAllen that it was a whole family.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lady and her sisters and her mother, and this was a couple of years ago. They closed her down 1 year, but then the sister reapplied and continued working from the same address, doing all sorts of just criminal stuff, really. So shut down. Then the other sister got the license or authority from the IRS to do the same thing, and she did the same thing. So the IRS is really not up to par to really police all the bad tax preparers that are that are doing bad stuff out there. So
yeah, and they're gonna have to be even better now. With all these taxes probably going up and things like that, they're gonna probably find a way to get more and more IRS agents under the Biden administration. You never know. Haha, being funny.
Yeah.
Let's go through some comments, Cruz, so we don't want to forget. Sorry, good evening. Yeah, good evening. Yeah, no, good evening, Robert. FaceTime. Yep, FaceTime.
Yeah.
And wow, that's news to me. You learn something new every day with Real Politics. Well, do you have a name for your show yet? You don't have a name for your show?
Not sure now.
Okay, well, I think next week
out.
is going to have a cool little intro and everything like that, because Charlie has one for his show. And, so we'll have something. I'm sure we'll have that prepared for you. Evening, Lola, how are you doing?
Hey,
how are
Lola.
you been? I haven't seen you in a while. At least I don't think I have. But then again, I have the worst memory in the world. I really do. That's the reason why a lot of people's stimulus checks were not direct deposited. That's true.
That was one reason. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good reason. That's a bad reason, not a good reason. So let's talk a little bit of politics. So if y'all have any questions about taxes, make sure you put them in the comments so Cruz can do it. Not really politics, more like what our people are having to do. And so I told Cruz I wanted to read a little bit about this. Again, it's not my show, it's Cruz's show. So if you have any questions for Cruz, ask them. But while we wait for your questions, we have a problem with woke people. And since we're not going to do a late show, I can't do this in a late show because, well, I'm doing this here. So we had a situation. We have sports reporters that are now inundated with female sports reporters. I have no problems with women being sports reporters. They can be just as good as men can be, and whatever. But the problem that we're having is a lot of these sports reporters are now in like their 20s, and they're like very woke millennials, and they have these weird conversations that I kind of feel bad for men out there that are single and having to put up with this kind of, like, how do you survive? So I'm not going to name the sports reporter. Just say it's real. It happened. It's out there. It is Twitterverse. So she tweets this out. She tweeted out a picture, an image from Facebook. And if there's a comment that comes in, Cruz, interrupt me. That's not a big deal. It's your show, not mine. But she writes that there was a person that did a screenshot, I guess, of Facebook. It looks like a Facebook screenshot. It says, "Looking great as usual. Have you trimmed down?" That is what apparently some guy had said to this person. Okay. So she's like, as someone who has battled stages of disorder in eating, comments like this, though well-meaning, with no malintent, can be pretty triggering. I haven't lost weight, and I haven't felt I've needed to recently. Stopping at the looking great as usual is the way to go. So apparently she felt triggered by this person saying, "Wow, have you trimmed down?" Like, it's just a compliment. And she felt triggered because apparently this person is supposed to automatically know that the person's suffering some sort of, I guess, weight issues or are there any comments coming in, Chris?
No.
Okay, because I keep hearing cling, cling, so I don't know what that is. So then another sports reporter, a female sports reporter, replies to her. I don't think they're at the same station, but, it is what it is. This stuff infuriates me. I'm so sorry it brought you back to a bad place. People need to know when to just stop. Cruz, could you put up with this? I mean, this is just...
Well, I can see both sides.
It gets better, though, but okay, keep going. Sorry.
Okay, but I can think of a time when I saw a lady friend, and she had gained weight, but just in the belly, around the belly, the midsection. And I almost asked, but I stopped myself, "Are you pregnant?"
Yeah, I actually have done that. I've done that.
But I stopped myself because I don't know. It just didn't feel. It felt like I was going to insult her, so I didn't ask.
Yeah.
But
well, was she pregnant?
More or less the same thing.
Well, I don't know. But yeah, it seems like it, but the person didn't know. How was you supposed to know? So then the other reporter replies back. The original sports reporter replies back. "I'm confident in myself enough to where I've gotten past it. But that's not always the case. It's perfectly fine to just stop after the first sentence and not comment on a person's weight, even if you mean it as a compliment, LOL." Then the other sports reporter replies back. Again, these are in the middle. I'm going to judge. They're all in their 20s, okay? 9 out of 10, it's never a compliment. I roll emoji. Really? Okay. Then the other original sports reporter replies in a tweet, says, "Like my arms used to not look trim. The only time I've lost significant weight was about 3 years ago." I'm just going to say it. She doesn't look that thin to begin now, but hey, 3 years ago, whatever. "And I've maintained LOL." And that's what you want to do. You want to maintain. And I'm not doing the LOL. That's her. Then some random dude with a sports emoji replies back, right? Because want to join in. I believe he's a male. I'm going to judge he's a male. And the reason I'm going to judge he's a male because he has a male name, but you never know anymore. You just don't know in this woke world what somebody's name is. For all I know, that person could have a unisex name for all I know. But I'm not going to say the name. Not to be one of those guys. Oh, okay, so he admits it's a guy. Maybe. but you're stunning. So that entire thread didn't care. He just wanted to reply, "You're stunning." So I don't get it. I don't get why the hell you would reply that, knowing that they're talking about their looks. You can't do that, dude. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. Your point is a good one, though. No, it's not a good one if you didn't get it. You're not allowed to do that, apparently. And you know what? There was no smart aleck little comment from either one of those two sports reporters at this person deciding to call her stunning, because you can't do that anymore, Cruz. You're not allowed to do that. Like, I know that has nothing to do with some random dude. Yeah. Like, I just don't understand it. I don't get this world that we live in. I'm so glad I'm not having to date these people. Gosh, really? I'm sure there's more important things to worry about than wondering if the person meant it to be rude or not. I guess this is what these men have to put up with. You can't even compliment a person, and they're doing this stuff. Like, whatever.
I know we can't. Guys can't anymore. It could either be sexist, or it could be a come on, it could be I don't know, harassment.
I don't know. So I just wanted to say that because we're not doing a late show, and I thank you for allowing me to say this. It was just it's been eating inside of me. Like, you just come on. And it's like, oh, I didn't mean it. He didn't really mean it in a mean way. Then why talk about it? Then just shut up. Oh, can I say that? Am I allowed to say that to somebody? Are there any more comments? I don't know. I think they are. Mari's joining us. Hey, Mari.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Mari. How you doing? Welcome to Cruz's show.
Show.
It's Cruz's show. We're supposed to be talking generalized taxes and some politics, and so we're talking about woke women. And I don't know if you got a chance to hear what I just wrote or read.
Actually, she would be an excellent.
Oh gosh, I wish I would have known.
I mean,
well, why did you tell me she was going to come on? If not, I would have waited till she come on so she can hear these tweets from these women.
yeah, I
who
wasn't
apparently.
sure whether she was going to be able to.
Oh well, darn.
What?
I would have waited. Well,
happened?
I'm not going to read them all over again.
I guess to summarize, if I can, what do guys do when you compliment somebody, a girl, a lady, or when you tell them that I forget, is it stunning or is it
the general man who had nothing to do with the post completely called them, oh my God, you're stunning. But the original thing that triggered this poor girl, apparently, I shouldn't even say girl because she's an adult. She's an adult and she's not a girl. So she's a poor adult woman or person. No, is she an adult that identifies as a woman, or I don't, what is the term? So she screenshoots something, I guess, on Facebook. Looks like it says, you look great. Have you trimmed down? And apparently that triggered her because I guess the guy's supposed to know that she had an eating disorder, and it triggered her like, oh my God, can't you just leave it at the first sentence? Oh dear Lord.
No, I mean, if someone tells me that, I mean, I would be like, I take it as a compliment because I have health issues. It's not like and I've actually just started being vocal about my health issues, but if people don't know you, or the people that do know you and they're seeing a difference, especially when we're all virtual and they're seeing part of that in your post that you may do, it's a huge compliment. I'm a balloon. So some days I'm like super thin, and then other days I look super swollen. But no, I mean, that just goes to show that there's a level of insecurity with that person.
These are sports women reporters, and sports women reporters are going to be in the news now because I get what President Biden did a couple of days ago with the executive order and allowing biological males to be able to play in women's sports. And I just think I'm fine. You know what? I'm fine with it. I had a friend of mine says, well, why are you having a problem with them being able to play? Like, I don't have a problem with it because, quite frankly, it might make things more interesting because I don't like, and I love soccer. I love soccer. What I don't love is women's soccer because I think it's boring. And the reason I think it's boring is because you have people like Megan Rapinoe that somehow is like the greatest soccer player ever, and she's not. She's just good because she's politically active and hated Trump. That's what it is. I follow soccer. You know, there are infinitely better soccer players in the United States than Megan Rapinoe. I'll give you a couple of people. Carly Lloyd. She's like probably the greatest midfielder to ever play U.S. soccer on the women's side since maybe Mia Hamm. And Mia Hamm is probably not as good as Carly Lloyd. But she was sitting on the bench in the last World Cup. and who wasn't sitting on the bench, this old woman who plays in the wing that magically got like what 5 goals and 4 of them were just penalty kicks. They weren't even like legit. To me, penalty kicks shouldn't count as goals when you're trying to be like the golden boot person. Sorry, I'm taking over Cruz's show, but I wanted to rant.
Yeah, you are. Sorry.
Sorry. Anyway, but it's sports, so it's like, yay. So anyways, but we have sports issues. So this person got triggered on Twitter and just decided to, and then another sports reporter, oh my God, it's horrible. Like, I can't believe that happened. It happens all the time. It's horrible. And it's like, I know, it's like horrible. It's like, oh my God, seriously, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. And he just went back and forth, and that random dude just comes in, I just want to tell you, you're stunning. And they had nothing to say to the guy. They didn't like it. They didn't block him. They didn't make a big scene. It's like, you literally just had a conversation like, oh, this is horrible. People are mean. Men are mean. Men are mean. Men are mean.
I thought you were going to stop talking about it.
How? Who, me? Yeah, they couldn't stop talking about it. Sorry. That's just what happens.
So what? What's this tax show about? What are we talking
tax
about?
show. We're talking about taxes. Do you have any questions about taxes? You can ask Cruz. He'll answer your question.
Any questions that I can answer for you? Maybe.
Oh, gosh. I haven't received my tax forms yet. Are we supposed to be receiving those already by now?
No, you don't. You're supposed to go out and get them yourself. Either do it online.
What do you mean?
Or go to a tax preparer, which is supposed to have all the forms that are necessary to do it.
Like our W-2s, though.
Oh, W-2s. Yeah, you gotta wait.
When do those come out?
Well, everybody, all W-2s are due January the 30th, but they get a 2-week grace period.
So not until February. Okay.
Yeah.
So people might not get their W-2s until then, but usually it's by the end of January.
Some people get them early. I know that for sure. Some people do. I don't know. I just got back into the workforce, guys. This is my I was self-employed 2018. I didn't work 2017, self-employed 2018. And then literally back into the workforce last year, 2019 to 2020. Wow, it feels like I feel like I'm stuck in 2019.
Yeah, you are.
So I started February 2019. Yeah, so I've been only about a year? About a year working.
By the way, this year you can use your 2019 adjusted gross income.
What's that? What does that mean? What is that?
It means your after some adjustments and all income. It means that basically what it means, net of your income plus other tax incomes adjustments. I forget what line it is off the top of my head. But basically, you can choose between 2019 and 2020, whichever gives you the highest earned income tax credit or child tax credit. So be sure to watch out for that.
Are you doing taxes, Cruz?
Yes.
Okay, I might call on you then. I've actually been doing. I used to have someone do my taxes. I used to pay a guy out of New Braunfels. He was recommended to me, and then when I stopped working, obviously there's no reason for me to hire him. But I'm getting back in, so I don't know. I might call you.
Yeah, and he's in San Juan. Yeah, so y'all should contact Cruz. It's Quintana Tax Services, right? They can look you up on Facebook. Right. You do like cool stuff on Facebook. So if you haven't liked his page.
And I do recommend that they don't do it yourself, because even though the top tax places like H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt and other online places, even though the software is pretty good, it's not going to catch everything that you can do to get a better refund this year. And honestly, when you go to H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt and you see a 18-year-old, I would recommend that you wait for somebody that's more experienced, because all they're doing is following the software.
Yeah.
So that's really all they do, actually. I don't think anything else.
They hire just 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. And
the software is supposed to be self-explanatory, so there's more stuff you could possibly be getting than you ordinarily do. But they'll be able to tell you, you might want to do line items as opposed to the general thing. I heard they're coming in late February. That true?
W-2s, no, they should not be that late. They can actually get in trouble if they wait that long.
Mm-hmm.
And in your case, I think you can probably still log into the employee portal to be able to get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the baby's having fun back there.
Yeah, a lot of places have their W-2s online.
Yeah, Claudia says she already gave them to her employees. That's good. So she's smart. She's getting out of the way and do it quickly. They are due by the end of January. Yeah.
Yep.
Would you be able to do my taxes if I live in Houston?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've got clients all over the U.S.
Oh wow! So just get in contact with Cruz and his page and message him, and you can give him a call and use him. And it's always good to use conservatives. You're a conservative. You should use conservatives. Help them out. Don't help out other people. Work together. That's how we're gonna win this thing. I've always done my own, but not this year. Too many changes. It sounds like it. Yeah. And Cruz seems to know them all. So, and again, every Saturday or Sunday or Sunday, he'll be doing a show devoted to taxes, even during tax season. I don't know how he's going to be able to do everything because you're going to be busy, right? But you're going to do it anyway. That's always a good thing to be taxed.
Yeah, I've actually done mine with TurboTax, but I always pay the extra, not the base minimum. I would always do the extra one. I did that for the last 3 years.
Have you actually done both and compared to see if you actually got better value with the paid version?
I know that with when I did it with the other guy, but at that time I was making money. And I owed money to the IRS. And then, when I came home and, was not working, I didn't work for almost a whole year. So the return was really high. Now I know what it feels like to have children in a tax season.
Yeah.
But I honestly, all my money goes back to the IRS. I really don't keep any of it. So I really couldn't tell a difference. But it was almost the same. There wasn't like a big change. But one thing that I didn't do was that even though I tried giving him as much as receipts that I couldn't find all of them. I don't even know if he used them, because I wanted to try to see if I could take advantage of the line item reporting. But then I said, you know what, just do it. Whatever I need to do to turn in a tax report, just get that done. And I wasn't going to get anything in return anyway. So whatever would have come back to me ended up going back to them. But back then I was paying, so I wasn't keeping anything up until recently where I was getting a return.
Well, you mentioned unemployed. For those that don't know, unemployment is taxable. So you have to wait for your 1099-G from the state before you file your taxes. It is taxable. It doesn't count towards earned income credit or child tax credit. So if you only had just a little bit of earned income and a whole bunch of unemployment, because I do have one client that only worked for 3 months, and then the year was all unemployment. Well, basically they had very, very little child tax credit because it's only based on earned income, unemployment.
So what does that mean? So like what is the threshold to be able to get that extra $2,000 per kid or whatever the amount is to be able to get it?
The peak of wages is around between $18,000 and $20,000.
Okay, so as long as you're making that at that number,
you're going to get the most earned income credit. Well, not child tax credit, but earned income credit. The less you make, the less earned income credit you make. The more you make above that peak, the less earned income credit that you're going to get until it phases out in the 30s and 40s.
What do you mean 30s and 40s? Like 30s and 40,000?
30,000. But unemployment does not count.
Okay, so if you only work for those 3 months, you're gonna get screwed. You're not gonna make the extra. So like the $2,000 that people get or is that they actually be higher and lower? It's not the same thing, or that?
Well, the 2000 is child tax credit,
Okay.
earned income credit. Earned income credit is based on how much you make as far as calculation.
Okay, so that's like welfare
tax
for people
credit.
making a certain amount of money, right?
Yeah, child tax credit and additional child tax credit kicks in the higher above the $20,000. And when I say kick in, I'm talking relative, progressive progression. But it could also hurt you. Unemployment can actually hurt you. Let's say that you made $25,000. You lost your job and had to go on unemployment.
Right.
And then you collected, let's say you collected about $12,000 in unemployment. So all of a sudden, you're in the $30,000 range that you made, which is both unemployment and regular wages. It counts against you. So it doesn't help you in some cases, and it hurts you in other cases.
There's no perfect magical thing. It's almost like we just need a flat tax and we were doing with it. So there's a couple. There might be. Are there any comments coming in? Don't forget about comments, Cruz, because this is your show. Oh, here's a good question, Mr. Cruz. Are we getting another extension this year? Any information?
Extension? Do you mean stimulus or an actual
Filing deadline.
extension? Filing extension. Oh, I see what you mean. Like last year, that July 25th was.
Okay.
I haven't heard that. We have not heard that at all.
So you're gonna be they can start accepting it, and the 12th. Oh, I'm very sorry about that. But the 15th is still gonna be the 15th, so it's gonna suck.
As far as what I have read, yes,
I made you yawn.
It will be tax day.
He's like, oh, I don't know. Are you in Wesco, Quintana? No, no, it's Quintana.
San Juan.
It's Quintana. Quintana. A-N-A, not Quintanilla. It's Quintana.
And yeah, you know what? True story. I actually toured the TurboTax Center in Silicon Valley.
Really?
Out there in California. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I really, really liked it. I've done TurboTax almost my whole life when I was a college student and stuff. I would always do it myself. But I just wanted to point that out. It was really nice.
Welcome to the. Do you have any more questions? Any questions for Cruz? Again, you don't just have to ask now. You can. Hey, I'm a white girl. It's okay. Not a big deal. I'm just saying. Because you were probably Facebooking, and there's a tax service place in Wesco, and you didn't know it's Quintana, but it's okay. There's two different things.
There's a Quintanilla or Quintana. There's not that many Quintanas in the valley, so I'm sure you'll be able to find me.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing about self-employed, there is a COVID credit for self-employed people. It's a different form. It's a new form. If you had COVID, you can actually get credit for the 2 weeks or so that you were out. Or if you took care of someone with COVID, you can actually get credit.
Fascinating.
Care of somebody, but that's for self-employed people.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not for us. I'm not self-employed. And you don't. You were not self-employed last year, right, Marty? No.
As a full-time employee.
A reminder: we're here with Cruz's show, which we don't even know what the name is going to be. It's going to be Sharky and Cruz. Cruz and Sharky. I have no idea. Miss Sharky, Sharky wasn't able to do it today. Well, I don't think I want to share exactly why, because that's private information. But he'll hopefully be able to be back next week. You know, he is alive. Just so you know, he's not. He hasn't been murdered or anything. Well, maybe now he has. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah. So what would Cruz? What would I need to get you? What documents do you need to start?
Well, since you were a W-2 worker last year, you just need your W-2s, your dependents information,
like social and date of
address,
birth,
driver's license, or ID, and that's it, really.
Okay.
Everything else is
you need
on to go. I mean, I ask questions of the clients as we go along based on what information is presented one by one, line by line.
Like if somebody, we don't have to pay taxes anymore, prove that we have health insurance, do we? Or is that changing with the Biden administration?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you do. If you have Marketplace Obamacare,
Mm.
you have to wait or log into your healthcare.gov account and download your 1095A.
Okay.
So um, if
But what
without,
if you have private insurance and you have to
no,
do?
Then-
no, 1095Bs and 1095Cs is what private insurance and employers give out to the employees. So
yeah.
that's not needed. If you have a 1095A under Obamacare or Marketplace, you will need it, because if you don't use it, you can submit your tax return without it, but I guarantee you it's going to be delayed another 4 weeks, maybe even longer, because they will not refund it until you recalculate the information on that 1095A.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I don't have marketplace. So
Yeah. So we don't have you. So we can just say, hey, I don't have Obamacare. You don't even have. You don't even need the 1090B or 1090C. You don't even need that at all anymore.
Correct. Yeah, you don't need
Yeah.
that.
So yay. So that was brought to you by a Republican Congress, right? It was a law passed or something. So the individual mandate is basically doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist. Obamacare still exists without penalties, which is why it's not even processed anymore
Mm.
in the
Yeah,
tax.
because I remember that first year was a nightmare. Oh, you gotta have that. Okay, here. Yeah.
oh my god.
Pretty have it. Sorry, we're all yawning. It's a Saturday, guys. What do you expect?
No, I haven't. I've my uncles actually have been very ill. I know
Mm,
we had our scare with my brother, but he's fine. I
Mm.
haven't really had much sleep. Probably going on 3 to 4 hours sleep for the last couple of weeks. So I'm like
mm. Trying to catch
trying
up.
to catch up. And one of my uncles is just not doing well in the hospital.
Mm.
So, when you try to think of other things, you still come back to that. And obviously, the whole situation in general, it's hard for a lot of people.
Mm.
So I'm trying my best, guys, to stay on
To
top.
think it's okay. And so I'm glad you were able to come on. Claudia's asking, this is going to be the last year that we won't be penalized for not having insurance?
That's
Question
a
mark.
good question. We don't know what the heck Biden's going to do with this healthcare for all. I mean, we know he's going to try. He and the
I
Congress
think they're going to put
wants
penalties.
universal.
They probably. I wouldn't be surprised. They'll sneak it in there somehow.
He's
And
going to try.
I don't. I really would hate for that to happen.
good evening, Saturday evening. Hey, Jess.
Hey,
Okay.
Jessica.
If you have any questions for taxes, ask Cruz. He's here to help.
But I will call you, Cruz, and I will call you.
Yeah. We'll have
Call
another.
or text.
Yeah. And Cruz is not like Roman. Cruz is like, we're only doing this amount of time for the show. So we are only going till 9 o'clock and we are done. Right, Cruz? So if you
Yep,
get your questions in now before we go bye-bye at 9. Okay. Not like, oh, what got 9? I can't find it. We can't.
Send
Cruz.
a message to the page, Laura, and I'll get in touch with you.
Yeah, the Real Politics page. Or if you want to, Cruz, why don't you comment as Real Politics and the name of your thingy? That way, she might be able to like copy and paste it somehow, and look for it. Because I want you to be able to help, find each other. So great. And what was I going to tell you? I was going to ask you a dumb question. Well, I'll wait till you're done typing.
Who, me?
No,
What's
I'm
up?
waiting for, no, Cruz is typing. No, I'm going to ask Cruz. Okay. Cruz, when you do, all right, let me know when you have it typed.
Yep, it's there.
Awesome. Okay,
What?
well,
Larry King died?
yeah, Larry King died. Yes, last night.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, he died. But I think he had coronavirus at some point. So we're
Well,
going
that's-
back to the
that's
Obama.
the
It's going
rumor.
to suck. So with this whole stimulus thing that happened, I think there was a part of the question, Quintana, there you go, Quintana Tax on FB. Is it Quintana Tax or Quintana Tax Services on FB?
On Facebook, it's just Quintana Tax.
Okay. So the extra amount of money, like the people in Georgia, they had voted thinking they were going to get $2,000 if they voted for the two Democrats, but now it looks like they're only going to get $1,400, and they're really, really mad. Like, is that money are we going to have to pay that money back if we get it?
No.
The $600, it's not going to be taxable or anything like that. It's just like, it's almost like just an additional tax credit. Big deal.
Right. And you still have to report it. And by report, it doesn't really sound right. You got to say that you got it,
Like
because
how? How would you say you got it? Don't they already know?
let's say you had a kid. I'm glad you mentioned that, because if you had a kid in 2020, you're missing out on $500 or $600 for this year.
Mm-hmm.
So you would report what you got, and the difference gets calculated and it'll be part of your refund.
Oh, so you'll be able to get money for the kid that
Yes,
you got in 2020. Oh,
correct.
congratulations. So everybody that got a kid, congratulations, free money. Yay. Woohoo, congratulations. You didn't even
By the
know
way,
it. You didn't even know it till right now.
you mentioned that people pay penalties for not having insurance. There
Hmm.
is a loophole. There was a
Really?
loophole for the people of Texas. There was
Really?
a loophole. So if you didn't come to me or other knowledgeable tax preparers and you paid a penalty for not having insurance, I'm sorry.
What was the
It's a
loophole?
loophole that you had to well, Texas was not a what the heck was it called? We stopped using it in 3 years ago, so I don't remember. But basically, Texas was not a Medicare state.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the exact wording, but Texas and a couple of other states caused a loophole that could be used to avoid paying Obamacare taxes
Oh,
on insurance.
because it was a state thing. Wow.
It was having to do with because
So
of
some of
the
y'all
way the
paid 10
states
penalty
got
you didn't
set
have to
up.
pay. Yeah, dumb.
Yeah, unless you were over $100,000 individual that you earned,
Mm-hmm.
then it was very difficult to avoid that, even in the loophole.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably 99% of all my clients were able to be approved for that loophole and didn't have to pay taxes.
Cool. There you go. Any other comment? Any other comments coming in, Cruz?
Mm-mm.
Buyer's remorse is strong. Yeah, there's a lot of people having buyer's remorse over, especially in New Mexico. New Mexico, they're losing out. The whole federal lands and oil drilling and all that new leasing stuff that they just did that moratorium for 60 days. Oh,
He lied. Oh my goodness.
oh my goodness gracious. You know what? And I'm perfectly, couldn't have happened to nicer people. That's all I think. You voted for, you're a blue state, you're getting punished. Oh, darn.
The problem is that it's more than just Arizona. I mean,
Or New Mexico in that one.
fine, millions of people unemployed, not millions, thousands of people unemployed.
Oh darn, it's okay. You want that's you mean tweets, guys. It was all about mean tweets. It's all about mean tweets. So hey, I it doesn't affect me. Doesn't affect me. You know what? That's what we need to worry about. If it doesn't affect you, it doesn't affect you. Just they're gonna be without jobs for a while, and they won't be able to
Agreed.
drill. Their
The thing is,
educational. They'll move to Texas maybe.
we saw it coming, though.
Mm.
I mean, the writing was on the wall. I mean, they were speaking out of both sides of their mouth. No, we will not. Yes, we will.
But it's gonna affect the educational standards in New Mexico. It's not like it may not be good for them at all. So Claudia's asking. So the $1,800 that we got in two payments, which was $1,200 and $600, will be part of your own income credit. So I'll always pay, so I won't have to return it.
No, it does not get added onto your income at all, Claudia. If you didn't get it, you can request it. You can request it on your 2020 income tax.
Right.
So you do have to put it in that you got it.
But you're not going to be taxed on it, and you're not going to be asked to pay it back.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's
Now,
just
if you
fair.
leave it off, that's actually going to be detrimental. When I say leave it off, if you don't report it, that's actually going to be detrimental, because when you transmit it, when you file it, you're telling the IRS that you didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
The IRS is going to look at your record and say, hey, wait a minute, yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
So that might delay your refund, because now they're going to have to try to figure out, did you really get it or did you not?
Right.
So be truthful, put it in that you got it, and if you didn't, well, don't put it on. But don't try to scam the system and say you didn't get it and see if you can get it again.
Yeah, don't do that. That'd be illegal and be problematic. It can lead to an audit. Yep. You reap what you sow. Yeah, I know. So all those people that are losing their jobs and in Pennsylvania, Georgian people that didn't get they're not gonna get the 2,000. They're like, but we're gonna no, you're not. But you know what? You're gonna get the $600 you already got plus the 1,400. But you guys in Georgia, you're so darn smart. You thought, we're gonna get them $2,000 more. No, that's not how it works. Georgians, not necessarily smarter than your average bear.
Yeah.
Oh well. Has anyone of the Biden administration been fact checked yet? Because this is a doozy. I don't know. Maybe. I don't necessarily follow the news. I just talk out of my buttocks. Just kidding. Anyway.
Well, his excuse was, 1,600 plus 1,400 is $2,000.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, well. It's okay. You're going to get a $2,000. Because even Chuck, you're going to get your $2,000. It's the first thing we're going to do when we're in charge.
No, I think they left. It's on hold right now.
No. It hasn't happened yet. Hey, boo-boo. Hello. Hey, primo, prima. I don't know which one it is. No, never know. Oh, gosh.
Okay, guys. So we'll close it up and just let everybody know that next week, hopefully, Sharky will be able to join. We'll add stock market watch, precious metals watch, cryptocurrency watch topics to the conversation, and tax updates that need to be talked about.
Yeah, so it won't be necessarily politics, but there'll be a little bit, but it'll be your show. So, and then Madi will have her show with Eminem on Wednesday at 9:00 on Wednesday, and we also will have obviously the regular shows that we do. Just so you know, on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 8:00 with the Real Politics Live, we'll be interviewing candidates for City Commission in McAllen only, because that's who we have scheduled interviews with. And then the following week, I think we have an interview with one of the candidates running for school board in McAllen as well. So a lot of good, exciting candidates and interviews that we're having, aside from whatever Cruz and Eminem and Charlie and show do. And then obviously the late night show, but no late night show for sure today. We are taking the night off because some of us need to rest and sleep. All right. So thanks, Cruz. Congratulations. Buenas noches, Lola. Good job, Cruz. So you're going to let us go. Are we going to do like a closing credit thing, or you're just going to let us go?
We're just going to go because we don't have a closing credits thing.
Yeah, we'll have that they'll have it next week for the Sharky and Cruz or whatever it's going to be called show. Yeah, no, I know it's early.